When it comes to developing the skills to be a great data analyst, there are certain tools that everyone should know. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 of these essential tools. You're going to learn what they are, why we use them, and a couple of ways that you can start practicing them today. So let's jump right in. The first tool that we're going to talk about is the structured query language, or SQL. It is a tool that is most often associated with data analysts and has been around since the 1970s. That's just how prominent and reliable it is. SQL is a tool that allows analysts to look at, talk to, and manipulate data directly from a database, which is often where most data is stored. In order to analyze data, you'll need to locate it and access it first. Often, raw data comes in a format that is not readable by either machine or by human, and so you'll need to clean it up as well. That's where SQL comes in. SQL allows you to pull data directly from a database. You can specify what columns from what data table you're pulling. You can also specify the format that the data comes to you. This is really useful because you can specify how many decimal points your data has, the format of your text data, or even what kind of a datetime object you want. Because SQL is a language for pulling data out of databases, you will need a database, or a demo of one, in order to get started. There are a number of free online tools that act as SQL interpreters that help you do just that. However, if you really want to level up your SQL skills, it's important to familiarize yourself with a more professional platform, like Google BigQuery, which is a Google product. You can sign up for a free account using the link below. Once you've logged in, you can navigate to the SQL workspace, and there you'll find a number of demo databases that you can use, including ones that contain news articles or another one that contains a list of Internet Archive books. The next set of tools I'm going to be talking about are Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. These tools are a core part of data analysis. And while Microsoft Excel tends to be a little bit more common, if you know one, it's really easy to translate your skills onto the other. These two tools, which I would collectively classify as spreadsheet tools, allow you to gather, analyze, and visualize data that you can bring in from different sources. The way that we do this is we bring in the data from these sources, and then we're able to filter or sort them visually, and then provide a graphical representation of what that data means, presenting that to your stakeholders. Spreadsheets are valuable tools because they are graphical, which means that they're not entirely text-based. This makes them a lot more intuitive than SQL or any other programming languages. This means that you're able to really effectively communicate your findings with both technical and non-technical stakeholders just because of how user-friendly the software is. It's powerful because it's a general-purpose piece of software. This means that you can build models, analyze data, filter data, and even visualize data in graphical manners. Once you're ready to get started, all you need is to import a dataset, which you can get from a host of different sources, such as websites like Kaggle, which are communities for data analysts and data scientists to put datasets in. The next tool I'm going to be talking about is Python, which is a general-purpose coding software. What this means is that you can pretty much build anything you want using Python, from a video game to a social media platform to the next music software, or even a recommendation engine for giant tech companies like Netflix or Amazon. Python is also very useful for analysis because of its flexibility, its simplicity, and the speed at which it's able to operate on data. Python is designed to be one of the simplest languages to learn. It reads just like English, unlike some of the more cryptic softwares out there. It is expected that data analysts and data scientists are capable of doing analyses on Python. In fact, Python has a huge community of avid practitioners who are all creating libraries and packages. These are packets of code which add different functionalities into the software. A perfect example of this is Seaborn, which adds a really beautiful graphical functionality to Python. There are many ways to get started using Python. If you're on a Mac, for example, if you open up the terminal app, type in Python and hit enter, a Python window will pop up. You can use this to start practicing functions or exercises. However, if you want a slightly more guided approach, there are a number of free tools online that you can use. The next tool that I'm going to be talking about is the Jupyter Notebook, which is how a data scientist most often interacts with the Python software. One of the primary issues of using an app like Terminal is that when you run your Python code, everything gets run at once. Also, it means that your whole script is run locally, as opposed to on the cloud, where there's a lot more computing power available to you. A Jupyter Notebook is set up like a literal notebook. Blocks of code are organized into sections called cells, and when you run a single cell, its output is produced immediately. You can also add sections of text, which allow non-technical stakeholders to understand what's going on. This makes a Jupyter Notebook a great way to clean, analyze, and visualize your data, and is also a great way to present your findings to stakeholders, as it allows them to understand the story from beginning to end, or from top to bottom. A Jupyter Notebook is a software that runs with Python. You can think of it as a user interface that allows you to interact with Python's functionality. You can also use Google's own version of a Jupyter Notebook, called a Colab Notebook, right from your Google Drive. The only thing that you need to know is that in order to continue on your Jupyter Notebook learning journey, you will need to have an understanding of Python. Business intelligence tools take in data, often in the form of live data, and allow analysts to then visualize that data using charts. In the world of tech, these are often attributes of a user that is engaged with a digital product. Charts are an effective means of communicating data in a visual manner. This means that more people, especially less technical decision makers, are able to engage with and understand your analyses. Additionally, BI tools allow you to create dashboards, which are collections of charts and other contextual information. All of this maximizes the amount of impact that your work is able to have across the whole organization. There are many products in the business intelligence ecosystem. The three most common ones are Looker, Tableau, and Power BI, with Looker and Tableau being the most commonplace amongst large tech companies. Tableau has the most flexible free version, making it a good place for most people to start, as it is both widely used and easily accessible. This version is called Tableau Public. Once you have that set up, you'll want to explore other YouTube videos to understand how you can start to create your first visualizations with the sample datasets provided by this version. These are just a few of the tools in the world of analytics, but there are so many more. Check out the playlist on screen for more easy-to-follow guides that can help you on your journey. And if you're interested in learning more about starting a career in data analytics, click the link down in the description.